Hello. Today we're going to talk about Lesson 16, Modality and Discourse. So this is a continuation of Lesson 15. In the previous lesson we talked about what is modality and what other types we have in modality, just how we can just analyze in discourse. So today we just going to analyze some words related to the modals. Let's get it started. So first of all, we should analyze what objectives and outcomes we have. Yes, you will be able to distinguish between modality forms in the text, and you will be able to define them in the text. And by the end of this lesson, you will be aware of the modality in the discourse texts, and you will be aware about the modality forms, and you will have the clear understanding about their differences. So modality is defined as a grammaticalized expressions of the subjective attitudes and opinions of the speaker. It is a semantic concept providing the semantic information associated with the speaker's attitude or opinions about what is said. And you can see the modality is the subjective attitudes and opinions of the speaker. So now we will analyze it by giving the real examples of how to analyze the modality in the book Michael McCarthy Discourse Analysis. So here is given two notable studies of modality in large amounts of discourse. Now you can see that large amount of discourse. Holmes, 1983, and Hermeren, 1978. So show a wide range of uses of traditional class of modal verbs. Show a wide range of uses of traditional class of modal verbs, of a vocabulary of lexical items carrying modal meanings. From the classic epistemic modality, in the previous lesson, Justin, we talked about the epistemic type of modality, what they are. And from the classic epistemic modality, here is given classic epistemic modality. Concerned with degrees of certainty and possibility. Concerned with degrees of certainty and possibility. And we have the root modalities, just it said in the previous lesson, intrinsic. So it includes volition, permission, and obligation. You see that? Volition, permission, obligation. Just let's get it highlighted for classic epistemic modality and root modalities. So here is given. Both Holmes and Hermeren's data show that put together, other word classes expresses modality more frequently than modal verbs. You see that Holmes and Hermeren's data show that put together, the other word classes express modality. Other word classes, you see that, not exact modal verbs, word classes here is used, and more frequently than modal verbs. The vocabulary of modality includes verbs, just the vocabulary of modality, you see that. What vocabulary of modality includes verbs such as appear, verbs includes verbs such as appear, assume, doubt, guess, look, as if, think. You see that these can be called the verbs. And we have adverbs. You see that adverbs such as actually, certainly, inevitably, obviously, and possibly. You see that these are also called types of adverbs which can express the meaning of modality. And we have noun and adjectives related to them, and the full list, see Holmes in 1988. And the nouns and adjectives, you can see that, for example, possibly, it means possible, and possibility. just the noun form and adjective form. You can see that. In terms of frequency, the verbs and adverbs are considerably more frequent than the nouns and adjectives too. In terms of frequency, the verbs and adverbs are considerably more frequent than the nouns and adjectives. Therefore, just here is given some examples of verbs and adverbs, which has the meaning of modals. All these words carry out important information about the stance and attitude of the sender to the message. So we just mentioned that modality is the attitude and stance of the speaker. Therefore, they are concerned with assertion. They are concerned with assertion, tentativeness, commitment, detachment, and other crucial aspects interpersonal meaning, like as opposed to ideational or content meanings. Like in the holiday, a modal or register, they form a part of tenor of the discourse. You know that tenor, what does it mean? And if we take a later part of one of our earlier texts extract, for example, 3.10, now we'll see that we can see how modal vocabulary represents another aspect of discursive meaning over and above organizational and more general signaling vocabulary already analyzed. Modal items are picked out in bold. Just you see that. So here is given one example, 3.20. Inevitably, objections will be raised to the promotion of the motorcycle as a savior of our environment. Here is given the word. It is adverb, right? And it's used as a modal in modality because it has some meaning that expresses the modality. So what type of modality it can be? You can see that inevitably here is given adverb, and this is called certainty. It is classic epistemic modality because inevitably is giving us certainty. It is dangerous, it can be, but 3/5 of all serious motorcycling accidents are caused by cars. So by transferring some drivers from cars to motorcycles, the risk can immediately be reduced. So here is given the word, the modal, can, and which meaning, you can see that here is possibility, therefore it's called epistemic, classic epistemic too. And here is another type of modality used, can here too, and it's also meaning of modality, possibility, therefore it's a type of classic epistemic. And now just we will move on the next words. Department of Transport statistics have shown that a car driver is 9 times more likely, here is giving me another word, likely, to take someone else with him in an accident than a motorcyclist. So riding a motorcycle is actually, here is also used adverbs, actually making a contribution to road safety. Here is used 3 words, shown, likely, and actually in bold because shown is a type is a third participle form of the participle show, and here is the meaning. Here is the meaning. The word certainty too. You can see that certainty. Therefore, it's also a classic epistemic. And here's likely. Likely it means possible, and possibility it means to the classic epistemic too. And here's actually, you can see that actually is also a certainty, type of certainty, therefore it's also the classic epistemic modality. You can see that. And the discourse analysis have demonstrated that modality is a fundamental in the certain creation of discourse. All messages choose some degrees of modality, even if it's only to make a neutral choice of bold assertion. Here is given one example. Here is given one example. You see that. Here is given one example. The cat sat on the mat as compared with the heavily modalized. I suppose it's possible the cat just may have sat on the mat. The language teachers have always paid an attention to the modal verbs, but Holmes shows in her survey of 4 ESL books, textbooks, that the larger vocabulary modal lexical item is often underrepresented in teaching materials, and there does seem to be a need to redress the balance in light of what natural data shows. So here you can see that may have, this is a may have, and the may have can only just say that this is a type of modal, and it has a possibility meaning, and it's used possible and suppose, and the other just ways you can see that. And here is given another example. So underlined words conveying modality in this text: food and health. It's a newspaper article. This is that can citrus peel harm? So did you know that lemon and orange peel is coated with wax and chemicals? The skin of almost all citrus fruit sold in the UK is treated with fungicides to stop it going mildly, and the glossy surface is a result of basing the fruit in wax. Could, here is used, this is it. Could the fungicides used on citrus peel be harmful? Particularly, here is also particular, since there is some evidence from laboratory tests that is insufficient quantities. They may, here's also used may, you see that? They may produce cancers or mutations in animal. The government doesn't feel there is any need to worry. There is any need to worry because the levels of fungicide permitted, here is used the permitted, the word permitted, are very low. The levels are based on the recommendation of UK and international advisory bodies for the amount that can be consumed daily without any significant effect. So here you can see that some words we have highlighted because it has some meanings of modals. Therefore, we just mention these words as modals from the context. So the first is could. It's a possible meaning. Could the fungicides used on the, and here just could is used as a possibility meaning. Therefore, it's called in a classic epistemic type of modality. And here is also may. You can see that may is also just used in the meaning of the classic epistemic model because it has a possibility meaning. And here used permitted. Permit is also one of the verbs that can be called the second type of root modality, because root modality includes permission. Here is root modality is volition, permission, obligation. And here is the used word permit. It's a type of modality course. So the last is here is used can. Also here is called the possibility meaning. Therefore, it's called classic epistemic, and the title of the article is also can be used as a classic epistemic modality. Here is used can. So now just you have learned how to analyze the modality in discourse and the types of the modality and what types and what words can be used as modality. Now we will review it again. Here is given the underlined and highlighted words and sentences. You can see that. If you have any questions, just you can leave it on Moodle platform. And the lesson is over. Thank you. Bye-bye.